This is your favorite president, or as they call me, Chief Golden Eagle, and I wanted to wish you a very happy Columbus Day. I knew Christopher Columbus very well. He was a great friend of mine. I called him Chris, and he did a tremendous job. But the radical left-wing crazy Democrats want to call it Indigenous Peoples Day, and I get along very well with the indigenous people. They love me. They call me Chief Golden Eagle. They say, Chief, what are we going to do about these crazy radical left-wing Democrats like Lion Liz Warren? I call her Pocahontas. Chief Spitting Bull. She's a horrible person and a loser, and the only woman who has ever failed a DNA test. Nobody ever thought that was possible, but she failed a DNA test. What a disgrace. Jiggly Belly Pritzker. I call him Chief Eats Too Much. Chief Broken Scale. Every scale he steps on says, ouch, you're hurting me. Please get off. He's a huge guy. He keeps stuffing his face. He's a huge guy and a stupid guy. And Peso Store Obama, right? You look at him in his sombrero. El Hakimo, Chief Tiny Teepee. He has a very small teepee. I have a huge teepee. Everybody knows about it. He has a tiny teepee. You know what I'm talking about. And he ought to be ashamed of himself. And he is ashamed of himself. Chief Tiny Teepee, El Hakimo. But we are sending out an executive order via smoke signal commemorating today as Columbus Day. We're making it Columbus Day again, celebrating my tremendous friend, Christopher Columbus, and all of his incredible achievements. So happy Columbus Day. God bless you. God bless America. And thank you for your attention to this matter.
Sean Farash, boy, is he funny. Hey, everyone, welcome in. Robert Imbriali here with you on what is the day when I grew up, where I grew up was Thanksgiving, right? So happy Thanksgiving, all my Canadian friends and family out there who's celebrating today. Well, Thanksgiving is not the same for them as it is for us. It's not the big deal that we make of it here. And I was talking to Phoebe about that a little bit this morning, and she says, what do they do for Thanksgiving? Pretty much the same thing we do here. We got the turkey and you got the sweet potatoes. They kind of copy it. It's a little earlier there because, the harvest season starts earlier because they're deep into fall already. And, we're still kind of like, rebounding from the last part of summer here in some ways. But I think in the United States, it's a bigger deal because Thanksgiving really marks not just Thanksgiving, but it marks the start of the holiday season, right? And it's followed right away by, that wonderful day for retailers, Black Friday. People love that day. So I think for us, it just ends up being, much bigger than it is in Canada. Celebrating the harvest, yeah, no question. It's always on a Monday. Columbus Day is always on a Monday. So there are Thanksgiving's always on a Monday. Kind of you've got Saturday, Sunday, you got Monday, and then right away Tuesday you're back to work. For a lot of us here in the United States, Thanksgiving, we're still recovering from turkey comas on Black Friday. And I know the women want to get out there shopping early, and sometimes the guys are like, yeah, maybe by noon. And then you go, well, by noon, all the good stuff is gone, right? That's the way it works around here. Hey, how much fun can we have in the United States? So happy Columbus Day. Big holiday. I guess they tried to rename it, but under the Biden administration, Trump just came back and said, no, it's Columbus Day. We're celebrating Columbus Day today as a third degree night of Columbus in the Catholic Church. That was something I did years and years ago. Columbus Day was the big deal for that organization. Long since moved beyond that. But kind of fun. Okay, I was supposed to have a guest on today. Tony Senatore was supposed to be here, but there was a little scheduling mix-up, and we're going to record his interview later this week, and I'm going to play it for you on next week's show, next Monday's show. Tony and I had a conversation this morning. He called and kind of like, sorry about that mix-up. And what interesting part, I didn't really know this about him. Lifelong Democrat. He said, don't hold it against me. I've converted. He said he went to the belly of the beast into the indoctrination system in university. And instead of being deeper into the indoctrination, it actually changed him. And he came out a Trump supporter. So this is going to be an interesting story. I'm looking forward to it. He's got a new book out, and we're going to talk a little bit about that too. So we'll do the interview, and it'll be something that I'll play for you on next Monday's show. It's going to be really interesting. And so it brought up the topic, kind of leading us into where I wanted to go. Part of the conversation we're having with him, I asked him, I said, how are you feeling? Are people, kind of coming together more, or is the division even deeper? And no surprise, right? We're going to say that the division right now is much deeper than it has been. And I think that's a very common sort of comment that I've been hearing more and more too. And I've been seeing it. Bruce and I were chatting about this. Bruce is here on the property. He's got his RV parked 300-400 feet from the house here. And, so we have a lot of time together, and we had this conversation and we're talking about that. And it's like the divide has gotten much deeper. Which you would, wonder on a day where, peace has been declared in the Middle East, you would think that the divide would come closer. And Tony was mentioning, he says, he's got friends that they just can't stomach Trump. So there's nothing Trump can do. He can make every one of those people on the left millionaires, and they'd still hate him. Some people's mind can't be changed. So I want to talk a little bit about that today. We talk about the gap between the left and the right. And, we are always trying to bridge that gap as much as we can. But it gets to a point And I think the point we're getting to now is the gap becomes so wide, it's not possible to bridge it, right? There's no way to bridge the gap because they're just too far apart. It had me thinking of an analogy. How could I best explain this to you in a way that a lot of people would understand? And it's a little bit, 'cause here on the ranch, right? We cut a lot of trees down that are dead and limbs and stuff. So you think about a tree, right? And you think about a branch on the tree, and then you take the chainsaw and you start cutting it, and you're making that divide bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually what happens, you get to the bottom of the branch, so the branch starts to go like that, and eventually the branch falls away. It's no longer part of the tree. Now, I thought about that analogy. I said, does it really apply here? Are we going to get to a point where there's going to be a segment of society that's not going to come along? I think that may be the possibility. So it's we've certainly hit another level of this in the past few weeks, and I don't know exactly what's been causing it, but it's happening, and we're seeing it more and more. And a lot of us with our eyes open are recognizing it. Some of us it's family, some of us it's friends, some of us it's business associates, and some of us it's all of the above. Right? We're seeing it all over the place, where it's the challenge is become bigger. So I had some thoughts about that. I wanted to share that with you before we get into today's topics, the news, if you will. And it's important because it continues to tear families apart, right? The divide is there, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. We're hoping that at some point everyone comes back together, but that may or may not be the case. So how do you handle it? I always say to people, you need to be strong. Now, this is an important piece. You've got to be strong. So whatever you believe, I tell people that with religion, I tell that people that in business, I tell people that in politics, wherever you are, you have to be strong about it, right? And the goal here is be strong, but I always say be strong but flexible. People go, what do you mean by that? Be strong but flexible. Strong is solid. You're not moving. Boom, boom, boom. Right? You're not going to move. But the reality is, if you're that way, too rigid, life will break you. So you've got to learn to be a little bit more like the oak that can bend in the wind, but they won't break. It's not totally rigid. It's very strong, but not totally rigid. And that's really how we're going to get through the things we got to get through in life. And one of the challenges is people go, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, just get into your belief system and don't let people change your mind. You are the only one that has control over that, where you can change your mind and decide, right? Whether or not you're going to change your mind, your new information comes up. And this is the flexible part. The flexible part for me is simply, if somebody brings me information I didn't know, and I have a belief about something, and they come along and they say, hey, did you know about this? No, I didn't. Let me look into it. Then I'll analyze it. And I may decide at some point to change my belief or change my stance on something because there's new information. I'm not rigid. Right? I'm not to the point where everything's a conviction, which is unquestioned belief. I'm at the point where I'm always open to hearing another opinion, another viewpoint. I may learn something. And, I go through life with this attitude that everyone can teach me something, right? They don't have to be smarter than me. They could be, in a different societal level than me, very much so. They could be poor. They could be uneducated. They could be whatever. I can learn from everybody, and I always look for that. Okay, what can I learn? What can I learn? We're always looking for that piece. So the flexibility is to be very strong in your convictions, very strong in your beliefs, but always be open-minded enough if new information presents. Now, this is real important for all of us here on this show, right? We are very much in the truther community, right? That's exactly what we call ourselves, the truthers, right? And the reality is we don't know the whole truth. We're going to talk a little bit about Charlie Kirk today, right? What truth do we know about that? We're just over the month mark since the assassination. What truth do we know about that? Well, everyone has a set of beliefs around it. I do. You do. However, there's new information presenting all the time. And I look at JFK, MLK, all the rest of these, and I say, we still don't know the quote unquote, the absolute facts of all of these things. And Juan O'Savin has been saying for a long time, and I really agree with this point, is that all of us are going to be shocked and surprised as information starts to unfold. We're going to start to see people we thought were good guys really aren't. Think people we thought were the villains may have actually been playing a role and working for our side. So I'm always, aware of that. And that's the flexibility. I'm willing to change my mind on things. But you got to bring me good proof, right? So I always tell people this, people are like, oh, you believe this and I don't believe it. It's okay. You don't have to agree with me to be my friend. I don't have to agree with you to be your friend. And the last thing that I would want you to do is take on the beliefs that I've got. Some people will do that. Oh, I got to believe what you believe, Rob. No, you don't. No, you don't. You could look at some of the stuff I share and say, oh, that's bogus. That's nonsense. I don't believe any of that. That's fine. Great. Tell me what you believe. Let's have the dialogue. Let's have the conversation. The other side, if you look at them on the other side, I think they're weak in their conviction. That's why they're threatened by us, because they see us as strong in our beliefs, right? Our convictions. We believe what we believe. This is the way, to prosperity. This is the way to have a great country. This is the way to have a great society. And they look at that and they're threatened by it. And so they resort to what? What are some of the things they do on the left? They'll stop talking to you. They'll shut you down. They'll walk away. They'll unfriend you, right? They may talk bad about you. They may put posts on Facebook and saying what an evil person this guy is. Only because they don't believe in you. I've had high school friends. I've had friends for, 40 years. I think we're coming up on our 45th anniversary of graduating high school, I think a year from now. And some of them have unfriended me. They say they can't be around me because they don't agree with me. And I'm like, really? I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't care what your political beliefs are. I know that it's different in Canada because the indoctrination is different. The media is more censored. So I understand all of that. But they're threatened by us because they see us and they say they can't shake us, right? We're not going to be shaken. We're staying strong in our beliefs about what this society should look like. And they're threatened by it. And in some cases, so threatened that they resort to violence. And we're seeing a lot of that going on. We can talk about that a little bit today, too. So I really want you to understand that the only person that can change your mind is you, right? You have to make the decision of the information that's presenting. You decide where you're going to be, what side of the arguments you're going to fall on. That's it. That's where your power is. You can absolutely do that. And you're the only one that can do it. Nobody can do it for you. So in the same way, you have to recognize that our job is not to convince the other people to believe like we believe. Other people think that's what I got to do. I got to go evangelize. And no, not at all. They have to come to their own conclusions. So what we do is we bring the information up, put it in front of them, and from there they decide what they're going to do with it. And I have friends who are like, nope, don't want any part of it. Don't want to know anything. Okay, that's fair. But I'll listen to them. And, a lot of their stuff is just way out there. It just doesn't resonate at all. But I'll still listen to them and give them the courtesy of that. So we have to be careful of this idea that we're trying to change those people because we really don't change them. We got to let them be. We got to let them find their own path and do what they need to do. So for you and I, staying strong but remaining flexible, that's our key. Sometimes people are not going to like us. Sometimes you just have to let them go. And they could be family members too. You may just need to let them go. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people to do. But, if there's no ability to communicate, then there's no point. And it's hard. I see that all the time. So I think some portion of society, like I mentioned, is going to be the branch that's going to be cut off. They're going to be, cast aside because they will not be able to come along. And we're just going to have to live with that. But I'm encouraging you, put on your MAGA hat, go out there and stand strong, stand proud, and let people know that we're here. And don't be intimidated. That's how we stay strong. All right, let's get into today's content, my strong followers, because you guys have this. You really got a lot of this, so I'm not concerned at all. Let's see where I want to start. I want to go here first. I'm gonna do some producing in real time here. This is a chart of gold. Look at this, year to date. So year to date, gold is up 56.41%. That was actually a little bit higher today. I think it got over 4,200 for a moment or two there. Gold is up 56% this year alone. January to October. Look at that chart. Up, 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 up. Yeah, of course it does this because that's life. But if you look at the trend is, it's an upward trend. And now if you look at silver, this is the same thing. Year to date, silver is at 52.64. I don't know. A lot of people are buying silver around 24, 25, 26, 27. And they thought, wow, it's never going to go higher than that. It's almost double. Crazy. 1 year. This is what's been going on. So I know we've been talking about this on the shows. Going to go back 4 years, maybe even longer, to invest in precious metals. And people are like, I don't really want to do that. Don't worry. I'm not sure it's going to go up. And for the longest time, nothing happened, right? It just kind of was there and it just didn't move. It didn't move. It didn't move. And all of a sudden, now we're experiencing this explosive growth. And people are like, no, I'm going to get in. This is the interesting thing about human psychology, right? Things exploding now. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And people are like, I want in, I want in, I want in. So Matt's been telling me they're like really busy over there. Because people are calling and they want to buy gold, they want to buy silver, they want to convert their IRA or their 401k, they want to get in on the precious metals part. Anyway, let me give you his info here if you want to see it. VerityMetals.com/renegade, or you can give him a call or text them 480-717-9081. That is how you will get into, I should put that on the screen, huh? Instead of just talking about it. That is how you get into precious metals, the easy way. With the lowest commissions, he's really got low commissions. The spot price plus, whatever the commission is, his are the lowest. VerityMetals.com/renegade, 480-717-9081. All right. We had quite a day, didn't we? Let's go back to, like I said, I'm producing on the fly here, changing things up as we go. We had a great day. President Trump, look at this. The president of peace. Look what he's done so far in 7 months. Cambodia and Thailand, that war has ended. Kosovo, Serbia, gone. DRC and Rwanda, gone. They ended that war. Pakistan, India, they were threatening nuclear war with each other. Trump ended that. Israel and Iran, ended that one. Egypt and Ethiopia. Oh, no, not Ethiopia. No, Ethiopia. Ethiopia. It's a little small on the screen here. Armenia and Uzbekistan, not bad. And now Israel and Gaza. Not too terrible, huh? For 7 months, I think that's a good thing to celebrate. We've all been looking for a president that would finally put an end to what seems like endless wars in our country, right? We've always seen these wars. They just go on and on and on. And it doesn't seem like under any president there was any desire to end the wars. Under Obama, they gave him the Nobel Peace Prize before he even took office. I tell you, that prize has zero value in my mind, absolute zero value in my mind. They gave it to him and he started 8 wars. Here's a guy who's ended 8 wars now, and he doesn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. So you tell me what that's supposed to mean. Anyway, historic day. Most of this happened overnight. Israel time is overnight for us. So we were just waking up to it this morning, didn't see a whole lot of it. And this is the Times Jerusalem Post. God bless the peacemaker. Apparently in Israel, they had giant banners on the beach. So when Trump flew over in Air Force One, he would see it, thanking him for this peace deal between Israel and Gaza. Now, I got to say, I don't know where I'm really falling in on all this. Yes, I'm happy the war's done. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that is all, handled, and it's, peace deals have happened before and they didn't hold. So I've got my fingers crossed that this one will hold, but we'll see. Now, do I look at Israel as the hero? No. Do I look at Gaza and the Palestinians as the hero? No. I think this whole thing was just bad on both sides, right? And I've been talking about this, and I've shared it on the show before. That if you look at Israel going into Gaza, you say, okay, so they're going to go after some terrorists. Okay, no one would argue with that. If you got some bad apples that are killing your people, you go after them. But if you look at the videos that are coming out today of Gaza, there's not a single building that isn't destroyed. Now, I don't know where they're going back to. All of them are going back into their neighborhoods. It's just rubble. They've literally been carpet bombed. The entire country, that whole area, there's nothing standing. So I'm wondering now if this is going to create a humanitarian crisis as these people are going back and there's no food stores, no drug stores, right? No doctors, no schools. What are they going back to? Think about that for a moment. Think about your neighborhood and all the things that you rely on. Yesterday Bruce and I ran out to town and went to Home Depot and then went to the pet food store to get pet food. And then we went to, shouldn't say it, Harbor Freight. Guys, Harbor Freight we were at. Yeah. And both of us love that. It's like a tiny toy store for us. He's like, there's this tool. I could do this. It just spurs so many projects. Anyway, could you imagine going back into your town and nothing's there? Your dentist's office, your chiropractor, your acupuncturist, right? Your health food store, all of it gone. What are you going back to? There aren't any roads. They're all walking. So what happens next? And keep an eye on it. So yeah, I'm kind of, cheering for peace. Yes, obviously that's what we all want. We don't want those wars. I don't know that I could see Israel as the hero in this. It does fall into the category of genocide in my mind, and maybe for many of you as well. But again, I'm not telling you how to think. I'm just, this is how I'm interpreting what I'm seeing. Now, of course, the Palestinians are no angels in any of this either. They kind of did what they did, and it's been going back and forth. It's like it's hard to blame one or the other. It's like it's tit for tat. It's like boom, 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 back and forth, and then the thing finally explodes. This is what's going to happen. So who knows where it goes from here? But we're going to keep an eye on it. It's a win. We'll take the win for sure. And, like I said, we'll see where it ends up taking us from here. This came across my desk today. I thought this was kind of telling. Imagine how strong our country could be if Congress spent their days working for the people who elected them. Well, they didn't really elect them. Instead of the people who buy them. Yeah, if only they were actually elected and not selected, then I would agree. That would make a whole lot of sense. So challenging. All right. Controversy. Is it real? Is it not real? Did it happen? Did it not happen? Where do we even start on this one? So we saw this. Trump got a good bill of health, and this is the letter put out by the doctor. And one of the things that caught everybody's attention is this little line here. And it said, in preparation for upcoming international travel, President Trump also received preventative health screenings and immunizations, read shots, including annual influenza and updated COVID-19 booster vaccinations. And of course, set off a firestorm, right? Everyone's like, what do you mean he got a COVID-19 vaccination? Well, people said that had to be a psyop. There's no way that could be real. There's no way that Donald Trump ever would take the COVID vaccine because he's against it. I thought about that for a few minutes, and I said, is he really against it? Who was in the White House a couple of weeks ago? Moderna, Pfizer. He was praising Bourla. Remember that? The head of Pfizer? He was praising him for his amazing work during COVID. And then I think there was something with Merck also this week or late last week that happened, I think on Friday at the White House. Makes you wonder. So if you got a COVID booster, when you read this, it's what it says here, COVID booster, right? That's what the thing said. It said including an updated COVID-19 booster vaccination. You only get a booster if you've had what? The first two, at least. So it's left everyone puzzling. People were very upset about this, and rightly so. I mean, if he's still a fan of the vaccines, Operation Warp Speed, and this is really what's going on, it doesn't bode well for getting these things off the market. It doesn't bode well for Fauci getting, taken out, and Pfizer being taken out, and all the rest of it. It's like everyone is left scratching their head, and a lot of people were saying, "Well, it's 5G chess." Okay, let's play with that for a moment. If it's 5G chess, then I ask you the question, to what end? What's the game? I want to know, what's the game? Because if people are seeing the president getting COVID booster, then the assumption is it must be safe and more people are going to go ahead and get it. So the optics are bad any way you look at it. So where's the 5D chess in it? I'm not seeing it. Doesn't mean it's not there. I'm just not seeing it. So if you guys could fill me in on what it might be, if you think it didn't happen, you think he didn't get those shots, or some people were saying, well, the president gets the shots the military gets, which are different than the ones the general public gets. Again, we have no information on that. Again, that's hearsay. We don't know. Yeah. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, so what are we supposed to make of this, and how do we go? Now you want to hear something even wilder? 2 weeks ago, Donald Trump posted a video on his Truth Social that said all vaccines are poison. Now, if you remember that video, all vaccines are poison. He posted that. So why would you get the flu shot, which is now mRNA technology? It's not the old flu shot that you had years ago. It's all mRNA technology, and the COVID booster shot. Again, the same thing. Why would you do that? If you believe all vaccines are poison, or did you just post that? I don't know. But it really raised a lot of hackles. Oh boy, there was a lot of people going back and forth on this, and they were fiery. There were some people who said, I can't support him anymore because if he actually did that, that tells me, it'll never go away. It'll never change. And we'll continue to get these poisons on the market. People will continue to be injected with these life-altering, jabs. And they were really upset. I mean, the fire was real on the weekend. It was really amazing to see, how many people were fiery about this. And I get it. I certainly get it. But remember Operation Warp Speed, right? That was a big piece of this. That's where it all kind of began. And every time he brings up Operation Warp Speed in a speech, he gets booed. But he doesn't let it go. It's still, it's still for him. It's still a big win. So, we've got to keep an eye on this. This is not a good development, and it's got a lot of people really, really PO'd. And I understand it. Certainly, it doesn't make me happy to see it either. I mean, everything that we know about these things, not a good look at all. So what's going on right now is we're seeing, if you look in your feeds, you're seeing a lot of, this is cut off just a little bit, vaccine doses for U.S. children. 1962, autism rates, you can see down the bottom left here, 1 in 10,000. And then 1 in 2,500 by 1983. In 1986, you know what happened? They removed liability from Big Pharma, because you can't sue them if something went wrong, and they went vaccine crazy. And now you look at the immunization schedule there on the right where it says now, and look at the autism rate, 1 in 36. He knows this. Donald Trump knows this. He's got RFK Jr. whispering in his ear. So did he really get the vaccine? Or is he just saying he got it? I've heard both sides, and there's plausible, reasoning on both sides. I don't think it's one of these things, again, we're truthers. We want the truth. How do we get the truth? How do we get there? How do we get the truth? I think that's really the question I'm asking now. It's like, how do we get to the truth on this? It's a little bit nutty not to be able to get there. We're going to go into a little bit more, but before I do, I must do a station identification here. RenegadeMedia.tv is where you want to go. You want to find out more about me. Also at Renegade Media on Telegram. If you're on Telegram, you could follow me there, or you could follow me on X at Robert Imbriali. And I have an X account that I keep. I don't post a whole lot there. I post more on Telegram, but I think I'm going to start changing that now. I think I'm going to post more on X going forward. I think there's more people using that particular platform than any other. All right. So as we continue, it's kind of interesting to see the craziness that is. I'm going to skip over those because I don't have enough time here. I'm already at 4:30. Wow. Boy, it's going quickly. All right. So as we keep on the topic of vaccinations, all of a sudden there's a new movie out. Again, Del Bigtree. Remember the guy behind the movie Vaxxed that was banned everywhere? I can't even find it online anymore. I wanted to download it. I wanted to have it. And it's really hard to find it. So if anyone has a link to that movie, let me know. So the movie Vaxxed, what he did, he basically went and he spoke to parents of kids and who are autistic, and they asked them what the story was. And what you saw in that movie was every story was the same. The kid went for a wellness check, got the vaccine, that night had a really bad fever, and now we learn they probably gave him Tylenol because that's what the doctor would have suggested, drops the glutathione level, liver has no ability to fight the toxins, and the next day the kid wakes up and is nonverbal, no longer making eye contact, autistic, is on the spectrum. And again, when you see that movie, you realize, wow, there's a real correlation here. How could you possibly not see that? So he's got a new video out. It's called An Inconvenient Study. And I'll play a little clip for you just to give you an idea. The movie's free to watch, and you can actually download the movie, which I did. In case it gets banned and censored everywhere, he wants as many people as possible posting this thing. So I've downloaded it. I've got a copy of it. And I'll put it up on our channels as well. But if you want to go see it, inconvenienttruth.com is where you go. Here's a clip.
We are now the sickest country in the world.
It is now believed that over 54% of our kids have a permanent chronic disease. Shouldn't we look closest at the one product designed to alter our immune system for life? There'd be one easy study to rule it out, the vaccinated versus unvaccinated study.
As fate would have it, Del met Marcus Servos.
He agreed to do a vaxxed versus unvaxxed study.
Kids that are vaccinated, it doesn't look so good.
4.47 times the amount.
5.5 times risk.
6 times increase.
Amongst the unvaccinated group, there were 0.
Like, if this is true, this is devastating.
It needs to be published.
This is information the public should have had in 2020, and I forced the issue.
Do you see how Ford responded? They said this report was not published because it did not meet the rigorous scientific standards we demand as a premier medical research institution.
They have forced our hand. We're going to have to show them the footage.
I'm going to bring hidden cameras and recording equipment so that no matter what happens at this dinner, I can prove it happened.
You're doing well. Good to see you. What do you think about the study you guys have done?
Well, I think it's a good study, but it does have limitations.
Do you find any flaws in the study? I mean, is there a way they could do the study better?
Not that I put it out just how it is. I don't want to say it's not the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do, but I just don't want to. Somebody's going to come back and they're going to say, the study is flawed.
The unpublished Henry Ford analysis is fundamentally flawed.
How about looking at this as important scientific information that can inform how the proper study should be done? Won't be taken like that. And then I can say, because there's a political agenda to it.
Is what your study shows, is it important?
Yeah, it is important. I'm not going to do it.
If I can't get the study out, then what hope is there for every kid in the future. I said to you, if you do this study, you're going to come under fire. You said, I don't care about that. I'm all about the data, and I'm about to retire anyway. That's literally what you said.
Yeah.
So your energy has definitely changed on that. But
Energy's changing. Publishing something like that, might as well retire. I'd be finished.
This is an inconvenient study for the entire vaccine agenda.
So an inconvenientstudy.com is where you'll go to get that movie. You can watch it free. There's no charge to watch it. About an hour and I saw it about an hour and 20 minutes. Quite amazing. I'm going to watch it tonight. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I've just been seeing clips. People are posting clips everywhere today. And it's information that needs to get out. More and more people need to be aware of these things and know that a lot of the information to tell you how dangerous they were has been hidden. And that Henry Ford study, boy, that's been out for a very long time, but hidden from public. We just got it, literally, I think last month we got access to it. So it makes your blood boil a little bit because you know how many people are injured, how many people have passed on because of these things, and all that information's been hidden, and I don't know. It's we've got to break through. We've got to get the information out. We've got to be able to share it. On YouTube, I don't know if we're going to be able to or not. I'm on YouTube now with this. I don't know if they'll give me a strike because we're talking about it or not. But I guess at some point it doesn't matter. And the reality is we've got to keep going. We've got to keep informing as many people as possible. I've been looking at the comments while the video is playing, and you guys are on the fence with the Trump getting the jab as well. Not sure if it's truthful, not truthful. I have people screaming both ways on it in the chat rooms. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Especially given what we know about it all. I mean, that's what makes it's a real head scratcher. It's like there's no way he's not aware. Now, he did say when Bourla from Pfizer was in there, he said all he was getting was information on how good the jabs had done. And he said, if they're not good, I want to see all the data. And of course, I doubt that ever happened because he's on to so many other things. You can imagine his schedule. I mean, he tires out the reporters that follow him. They get burned out because they just can't keep up with it. 18-hour days, every day. You just go. So, I don't know where this goes from here. But, and I think at the end of it, it always comes back to us. And we've got to keep talking about it. We've got to keep sharing it. And it's going to be we the people to say, hey, no more of these. No more of this stuff. I mean, it's up to 72, 76 jabs before a child is 18 years old. That's an insane amount of toxicity. And if you watch this video, it basically shows 57% of the kids who are inoculated are unhealthy. They have some kind of chronic illness. More than half. I mean, that should wake you up. And that's what I'm hoping that this movie will do. So go watch it and then share it with everybody you know. Put it out there as much as you can. Put links to it everywhere. It's free to watch for that reason. And he's made it so more people will see it. Rather than hiding it behind a paywall, he's not getting paid for it. Which I think is brilliant because these things cost a lot of money to put together. So let's do it. Let's get it out there. Let's tell everybody about it. All right, let's see here. So the hostages were released, and this is Trump entering, what is it that we call it? Knesset chamber, which is kind of like our Congress, I guess. This is him overnight. Okay, this is not the president of Israel. This is our president in Israel getting that kind of reception. He really is, stepping up at a higher level. Okay, so we got to look past the jab, I guess. Nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. And yeah, I'll take the good. We're going to have to take some of the bad with it, I guess, and just move forward. And, the hostages were released, and this is one dad being reunited with his son after 2 years.
Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. איזה חיים שלי, האור שלי, הלב שלי, הלב שלי, די, זה מאחורינו כבר.
The good thing is the hostages actually look like they're in good shape for the ones that survived. Many of them didn't survive, were killed or died in captivity. But the ones that were shown, all males, no female hostages, interestingly enough. And they look like they were in at least decent shape health-wise. So, we got to celebrate the wins. I think that's the thing we've got to do here is we've got to look for the good in all things, and that's the win for today. It's a big win for those families for sure, and we've got peace in the Middle East, so let's just go in that direction. All right, let's see. Where do I have this one loaded up? I don't even have it on the list. All right, so we're going to put it in right here. This was a video I came across last night, and it's just all the questions that we still have around Charlie Kirk. And you would wonder, it's like with all the technology, with all the people who have phones that could videotape, everyone's filming in 4K. You should be able to blow those videos up and see whatever you want to see. And all we keep seeing online is blurry videos, and it's the same 4, 5, 10, whatever it is, not that many shots of what was going on. And we're left in the dark with a lot of stuff. And there was a report today that the coroner who did the autopsy didn't actually mention whether or not they found a bullet fragment. Now, we're going on I think Candace Owens said, they found the bullet fragment in his neck. But now we're hearing that information wasn't even released. So we don't really know a lot more than we know. So this is kind of a summary, I guess, in a way, of everything that we are missing still.
There's no death certificate. There's no ballistics report. There was no crime scene investigation. There were no paramedics. There were no police swarming it right after. There was a plane that left 30 minutes right after that was 20 minutes away from the venue. There was a funeral held 11 days after in a stadium that was or wasn't booked 4 months before, that was booked in 11 days and put together with pyrotechnics and WWE-style showmanship. You have a shooter that left the screwdriver on the roof, changed 3 times or 2 times, and left the rifle, assembled the rifle, disassembled the rifle in 6 seconds. Then they found the rifle on Palantir property. Somehow he reassembled the rifle without the screwdriver that he left on the thing. Just all of it. None of it makes sense.
So and this is the JFK same all over again.
It's the exact same pattern down to the magic bullet that supposedly 30-06 or whatever the heck it was or whatever that was stopped by Superman's bones. The exact same, the Patsy, all of it is JFK.
Do you think the guy that they're saying that shot him, which doesn't seem to be believable.
You mean the guy that went to college for a month at a CIA? Yeah. There's no death certificate. There's no ballistics report. There was no crime scene investigation. There were no paramedics. There were no police swarming it right after. There was a plane that left 30 minutes right after that was 20 minutes away from the venue. There was a funeral held 11 days after in a stadium that...
So it goes on, and you guys know, you've heard a lot of this stuff. It's like none of it makes any sense. And Kash Patel actually came out and confirmed that the DNA of the guy they have in prison, the little 22-year-old guy, matches DNA they found on the towel that was wrapped around the gun. And nobody believes that gun was actually the gun that shot Charlie. I don't know. It's the question that you probably need to be asking at this point is, this is a cover-up. It's clear. I don't think that anyone's going to argue with that at this point. And then you've got to say why, right? So what's going on here that they need to hide? Who is behind JFK? Oh, now we know it was the CIA that was behind JFK. Well, interesting. How about MLK, Martin Luther King? Who was behind that? Could it have been the same group? And, because the pattern is strikingly similar between all three. So you're wondering now, it's like, was the CIA really behind this? This was a professional hit? What's the cover-up? What was the fear? Why did they have to silence him? Why did they have to silence MLK? Or JFK for that reason, for that matter, right? So that's probably where we want to look. That's probably what we want to do is dig a little bit further into it. But, the good news in all of this is that Charlie Kirk's message continues to this day. And it's really, this is from Portland, Oregon, where where they're protesting ICE. So now we have a counter protest, pro-ICE protest, not anti-ICE protest, and they put up this poster of Charlie Kirk. Okay, can I ask a question here? Okay, it's Monday, it's a holiday, maybe people are off work, and maybe that's why they're there protesting. Don't they have anything else to do? Really? Could you go do something productive with your life? Anyway, I guess that's where we are. It's kind of good to see that the Charlie Kirk message, they were chanting, "We are Charlie Kirk," as if you didn't hear that. They were chanting that, "We are Charlie Kirk," is what they were chanting in support of ICE. Over the weekend, you probably saw the story that the counter protesters, the anti-ICE protesters, showed up and took off all their clothes. The nudists show up. Can somebody explain to me how taking off your clothes is protesting? Because I can't figure it out. I don't know what the deal is here. This is just this craziness, right? These people are a little bit loony sometimes when they do these things. You really have to wonder what's the matter with people sometimes. What in the world are you guys thinking? It's like, the nudists showed up. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll get your message across. I don't know. It's just one of these things. The world we live in today, I guess, I always said, when I was younger, I always said, I'm never going to be out of sort of the mainstream. I wanted to stay in the mainstream. But the reality was, throughout my entire life, I never was in the mainstream. I was always outside of it because of the way I looked at things. And here we are, I'll be 62 in May, looking at things. I'm still way outside the mainstream. I don't get it. A lot of things I just don't understand about people. What are they thinking? It's craziness. But, here we are. I talked about this already, so I'm going to skip that story there. And, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Let's see. We've got 10 minutes left. Yeah, that will be our fun time today. I call this part 3. It's like fun and interesting stories. I had a conversation with Mr. Bruce Poppy yesterday about this, and I said, are you putting honey in your coffee? And he goes, yeah. Well, apparently, putting honey in your coffee is not a good thing because it creates a toxin. It's toxic. Honey. Interesting. Who knew, right? Because you get honey everywhere you go get a coffee or tea. It's like you can put honey in your tea. That's what we're told throughout our life. And apparently, this doctor I'm going to play here in just a minute has a different opinion. But first, Carol, thank you for posting the link in the to the movie. I think people need to go see that movie. And I do check the chat room, guys. People ask me, do you watch the chat room? Yeah, I watch it. It's flying by a lot, and I'll peek over. I just don't like looking away from the camera too much because it's a little distracting. So I do watch the chat room a little bit. But watch this video about honey and see if you learn anything, because I felt like I learned something.
Did you know honey can turn toxic if you heat it or if you eat it with the wrong combinations of foods? It's a very potent medicine. Honey is not food. Honey is medicine. And these are the rules of Ayurveda, science of food combining, called Viruddhahar. Never heat honey. Heated honey releases a compound called hydroxymethylfurfural, which is toxic for the human body. In fact, they tested heated honey on honeybees and it led to 100% mortality rate. When they tested heated honey on rats, there was a 50% mortality rate. Don't wait for tests on human beings to tell you that heated honey is toxic. It leads to accumulation of amar, poison, or toxins in the bloodstream, which can lead to skin diseases in the long run. Make sure honey is always raw when you consume it, and these are the combinations you should have and not have. Honey with lukewarm water. Put your pinky finger in the water. If it is bearable for 5 seconds, that temperature is conducive for honey. It can be mixed with lukewarm water. Honey in hot water, which is not bearable temperature, is strictly no. Do not cook your honey in your teas, in your coffees, in your cookies and cakes. It turns toxic and poisonous. Honey with ghee in equal quantities is no. It clogs your intestines and your GI tract and leads to indigestion in the long run. Honey with sesame oil in equal quantities, again, both have sticky properties. They will only clog your channels, called as throtas, leading to dysfunctional gut. Honey with hot milk, no. Make sure the milk is bearable temperature. It should be lukewarm. Then you can add honey to it. Honey and fish, toxic combination. Honey and meat, toxic combination. Honey and radish, forbidden. It leads to gastritis, indigestion, and severe burning sensation. Honey with fruits, not needed. Can be had in moderation. Reason being, fruits already has sucrose, fructose, and glucose, and honey is also sweet. So you don't need so much glucose spike in your body. Once in a while, if you top fruits with honey is okay, but don't overdo it, in moderation. Honey with ginger and pepper, best combination. Honey with some grated ginger, pepper, turmeric, cinnamon powder, consumed raw, helps in curing cold, cough, sinus, tinnitus and rhinitis. But do not have honey when you have fever, because your body is warm. It causes the honey to again release a toxic compound called HMF. Honey is great during allergies, asthma and wheezing. Honey is a strict no when you have skin issues like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, urticaria. Honey is no when you have acidity, burning sensation, reflux. Honey is great for thyroid. It cleans your thyroid gland when you eat it raw. Honey is great for PCOS and PCOD because it leads to weight loss. Here's to healthy living and a healthy.
Healthy living. Wow, that was kind of interesting. Yeah, I want to make a correction because I said Carol had posted the link and it was actually Tazgirl in there. I scanned the chat room sometimes a little bit too fast. So I apologize for making the error, but thank you, Tazgirl, for doing that. Yeah, the lot to learn there with honey. I did not know that you can't put it in water or hot water, hot tea, hot coffee, anything like that. And even can't have it when you have a fever. It's interesting. So she contends that honey is not food, it's actually medicine. Interesting, because Bruce's wife, Natalie, what she wanted to do, she went with Phoebe to the farmer's market on the weekend, and first thing she wanted was raw, organic, local honey. So we got that. It's really good. We got lots of it. So yeah, we'll use it a little bit differently right now. Honey with ginger and black pepper. That's an interesting combination. I would have never thought that. So learn something every day. And your pinky finger. I love the way she says that. It's your little pinky finger. Oh, people keep me laughing. I love it. I love it. What's going on in Oakland? Look at this. A chicken. This is was it Wings to Go? A chicken, fried chicken place. Anyway, this is how your fast food restaurants might look in the future.
Check this out. We're out here in Oakland at Wingstop. The entire place is locked down like Fort Knox. Really thick glass, bulletproof windows. Gotta talk to an intercom when you order your food and get it through a little cubby hole right here. That's insane. Welcome to Oakland, baby.
Welcome to Oakland. I think California's in trouble. I think we need a new governor, and we need to replace a lot of the politicians too. Not just the governor at the top, but all the deep staters underneath who are just not helping the cause at all. I mean, if you imagine going into a fast food restaurant, it's all thick plexiglass. You know, we have it at the bank. The bank that we go to over here is all plexiglassed out like that, really, really heavy, thick stuff. And you know, you got to put your money or your check underneath the glass, and there's got this much room, and real challenge. But now your fast food restaurant too is like that. Ooh, boy, we're living in the wrong place. Really living in the wrong place if that's the way it's going to be. Well, you know, as we get closer to the 31st, Halloween, this is probably from Halloween last year, a mountain lion shows up and says, "I want some candy too." Oh, poor guy. He didn't know what was happening there. Yeah, we do have mountain lions around here. I have never seen one, but apparently they are around. They have had neighbors who have had caught them on their Ring cameras and such, but I haven't seen them personally. Seen their footprints, so I know they're around, but I haven't actually seen one here. Guys, as always, thank you for being part of the show today. I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you for your kind words. Some people are leaving comments and you saying how much you enjoy this show. I enjoy doing this show. It's a little bit different than just reporting on the news, but actually able to comment on it and give you guys a little bit of a different perspective. It's a lot of fun. And we'll be back Thursday with the Thursday Throwdown, and Tony Senatore will be my guest on the show next Monday. So don't miss that. That'll be a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, everyone. Have a great night, and we'll see you back here Thursday for the Thursday Throwdown. Take care.